everybody, I'm back for another Instructor's Corner here live with you. Today we are going to be talking all about things to think about before you become a group fitness instructor. So my tiniest tiny human has been sick for a few days, so let's pray she keeps sleeping while I film this video. Also, shout out to my good friend Kristen for this awesome shirt. It says, "Wake up and be awesome." Today I'm more kind of trying to wake up and survive after a few nights of no sleep with the tiny human, but it is a good message nonetheless. So like I said, today I want to talk about things to think about before you become a group fitness instructor. So just some things to consider that you might not know goes into becoming a group fitness instructor just by taking lots of classes. So the first thing I would advise you to do if you are thinking about becoming a fitness instructor is to take a really wide variety of classes and decide which class really speaks to you, which class makes you really excited to get up and go to, which class you see yourself being able to do on a daily basis or maybe multiple times a week, and then work on moving towards teaching that particular class, because there are lots and lots of different formats out there, and there are quite a few steps to take to teach each different format. So don't go into it thinking, oh, once I get my group fitness instructor certification, I can teach any class that I want, because a lot more prep work goes into it. So the first thing I always say to people that tell me that they want to be a group fitness instructor is I ask them why. Why do you want to be a group fitness instructor? And I'm kind of sad to say that probably the number one answer that I get is, oh, I take classes anyways. Why not just get paid to teach? So if that's what you're thinking in your head, you might want to do a little gut check before you jump into being a group fitness instructor. Because the number one thing that I tell people that go through my certification, that I tell people that take my class, people that come to me wanting to be a group fitness instructor, the hundreds of instructors that I trained in the campus recreation setting, is once you are an instructor, once you put on that microphone, it is no longer your workout. It is their workout. You are there to provide them with a service, to be their cheerleader, to be their knowledgeable resource, to provide them with a great workout. You are not there to get paid to work out. You work out on your own time. So if that's what you were thinking in your head, I don't mean to be negative, but let's be honest, we don't just get paid to work out. So if you still think you want to be a group fitness instructor, let's talk about a few things that you want to do. So after you've taken a lot of classes and you kind of have found what really speaks to your heart, and that might change over the years, you don't have to commit to that. I've taught every format under the sun, but you need to have somewhere to start. So for me, it was step aerobics. I love step. I wanted to teach step, and that led me to finding a mentor. So I was lucky enough to be in college whenever I first started teaching group exercise. So I personally think I have the absolute best mentor ever in Dayon Woosley, and I went through a course at my university to learn how to teach step, and then I was assigned, so I didn't even have to think about it. I was lucky enough to be assigned a mentor to team teach with. So that mentor really helped me all along the way. They helped me with choreography, they helped me learn what goes into teaching, and they were just kind of there as a guide, because teaching for most of us probably isn't something we can just strap on the mic and do, especially if we're teaching classes that require choreography and teaching to music and things like that. So it's definitely very important to find a mentor. One of the great ways to find a mentor might be to go to your group fitness manager at the different clubs you attend, or the club you attend, or maybe the different studios you visit, and ask them what they look for in group fitness instructors. What kind of formats are they needing more instructors for? What kind of personality traits do they think are really important in group fitness instructors? And just kind of get more information on what the group fitness managers in your area are looking for. And while you're talking to them, also ask them what certifications they require, what certifications they'd like you to have, because they might have certain ones that they require and then certain ones that they prefer. And then also ask them if they have any veteran instructors that might be willing to mentor you. It might be that easy. They might have them on staff. I know at a few of the places that I've worked at, we had what we call our veteran instructors, and anytime we hired new staffers, they were placed with a veteran instructor or a mentor. So once you have kind of gathered some more information from the group fitness manager at your gym or studio, there are a couple of other things that you should know before going into teaching group fitness. So we don't just walk in, like I said, and strap on the mic and go. There is a lot of prep work that goes into putting a class together. You have to work on your choreography. You have to come up with your choreography, and then you have to practice your choreography. You have to find your music. You have to practice teaching on beat if you teach a class that requires you to teach on beat. You have to keep up with your certifications through continuing education credits. You have to keep up with CPR. You have to keep up with your liability insurance. You have to get there early to set up, and you have to be willing to stay late to answer your students' questions. You also need to be prepared to promote your classes. If you want to have big classes and you want to really make an impact on your community, you have to get out there and spread the word. You can't just slap a new class on the schedule and expect the people to come. So there is a lot of prep work that goes in to teaching that one class. So if you have a full-time job and you think that you're just going to pick up 2 classes on a random Wednesday and Thursday and walk in and do it, it is a little bit more involved than that. And I'm not saying that you can't have a full-time job and teach on the side. I have a lot of great friends that do it. I actually see that Becky Riddle just joined, and she does that. She has a full-time job and spends hours every week prepping her classes and teaching amazing classes. So it 100% can be done, but you just need to know that a little bit more prep work goes into every class than you may think. So after you found a mentor, the next step is definitely to get certified. So if you missed our video from last week, you can go back and watch that, all about different certifications and which one might be right for you, but there are definitely a lot of options out there, and hopefully your mentor or the group fitness manager at the club you're hoping to teach at can help you find which certification is right for you. After you get certified and you've been brought onto a team, definitely be prepared that you may have to teach at some kind of weird hours at first. You're not going to be given that prime time slot right away. A lot of group fitness managers will also bring you on as a substitute first, and that's great. That's a great way to meet people at a lot of different time slots, maybe find which time slot works for you, but just be prepared as a new instructor. You may have to take those less than ideal time slots and pay your dues as a substitute first. And then the last thing, but definitely not the least thing, probably the most important thing, is be prepared to practice a lot when you are a new instructor. You're going to need to practice your choreography. You're going to need to practice your music. You're going to need to practice your introduction, practice your cues. You may teach the class to your significant other or your roommate or your dog multiple times before you go in and you teach your class live. So just be prepared to practice, and know that with time, it'll take less and less practice time, but I still practice all of my new songs before I go in and teach them to my class, because I want them to feel smooth and for all of those transitions to be really well rehearsed, all of my cues to make sense before I put it out there to my students. So if you are interested in becoming a group fitness instructor, I would love for you to join us, especially if you're interested in teaching bar or Pilates. We are going to be in Texas this weekend and in North Carolina this weekend. We have a ton of upcoming Pulse Point Bar primary instructor certifications, so come and check us out. Oh, those are my notes. This is the manual. You can also join us for a home study. We just got approved to provide AFA and NASM credits for our home study. So if you have any questions, always feel free to email us. Our email can be found on our website, www.pulsepointbar.com, and we love to answer any questions you have. You can leave them below in the comments. That's easier than even emailing. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week for another Instructor's Corner.